Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who always hides his gravity boots where no one can find them. It's Niall Moore.
Hey, how's it going, Mark? We ready to broker a peace deal?
I hope you don't get sent to Aurora Pente and deal with shape-shifting aliens and smooch them.
It does not look like a nice place to be, but
No,
luckily, not everyone has their genitals in the same place. So if you kick somewhere, you might just get them.
I like that he went for the knee and hit his balls or whatever his genitals or whatever they were.
I'm curious as to what are the evolutionary advantages of having your genitals on your knees like that, because they're fairly exposed,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the bodies do evolve. So on that planet, yeah, and they're big. It was a big guy.
large, and have exposed. They're basically like a boss from a video game with a big glowing weak spot on their knee, and it's glowing, showing you, hit me here. This will make me hurt.
You know what sucks too is like your knee is already a weak spot. So then
Yeah,
you're doubling it.
yeah, exactly.
Jeez Louise.
It's a
This
weird
movie
one.
rocks, Niall.
Oh
This
yeah,
movie,
it's excellent.
okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. Niall and I started the Star Trek franchise coverage. I hadn't watched any of them. I'd seen some of the one with the whale. I remembered some parts of it, number four. But you want to hear my rankings?
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear now that you've seen all six of the original cast movies.
Okay, okay. So I think I'm going to go with four,
Okay,
The Voyage Home. I'm going to go with six, Undiscovered Country.
interesting.
I'm going to go Wrath of Khan. Then I'm going to go three, Search for Spock. Then this is going to sound crazy. I'm going to take five, The Final Frontier. And then I'm going to take Star Trek The Motion Picture. Be-
Interesting.
because Star Trek The Motion Picture is not really a Star Trek film. That's the only reason. Like,
Well, it's Star Trek does 2001,
yeah.
whereas the one we're going to talk about now is Star Trek does Jack Ryan in the Cold War.
Yes. And listen, I Final Frontier, I don't know if it's a better movie than The Motion Picture, but it's a Star Trek film. And so
Yeah,
like that's
because
why.
they had the formula kind of figured out by then. They know, okay, we don't have any weird people who have to tell you about their celibacy as soon as you meet them, just so that you know they're sexy. You know, they don't have weird bodysuits. They don't have. It's the crew you've kind of got to know, and they're in a situation. It's
Yeah,
not exactly a great, well-made movie, but at least the raw elements are there.
30 minutes of motion picture is just time wasting. So
You
it's
need to do that for one of your data articles, is how much time is wasted in each Star Trek film panning slowly over the ships. I think that would be an
whoa.
interesting one.
Like Star Trek films are better when less time is wasted. That's easy.
I think that's fairly obvious that
Yeah, yeah.
the tighter films are much better.
And listen, the reason I have Wrath of Khan in third is just simply because if I had to put on a Star Trek movie, it would be Undiscovered Country or Voyage Home. Like I would put those on ahead of Wrath of Khan because Khan is heavy. Like just he has a son and just it's just there's a guy who's really just pissed who has like huge pecs and it's just like a heavy movie. And then like I just don't think I would want to watch that. I would rather watch Undiscovered Country or Voyage Home first. Is what I'm saying.
Voyage Home has the best rewatchability
Yeah.
because it's a complete genre flip.
But like this movie's tight though, this Undiscovered Country. Like even when you know the mystery, just watching it. And then that mind meld scene when I mean we're if you're listening
It's
to this,
pretty
you've seen the
hardcore.
movie. Yeah, like Kim Cattrall acts her face off while she's getting her face squeezed.
Quite literally, her
Yeah.
face looks like it's popping off as she's getting mind aggressive mind melded.
And
I read an article today, which was, I think, taken from an interview with Nicholas Meyer, and he was asked about the parallels of this scene and what had just happened with the Cold War ending and the Berlin Wall coming down, and he was saying, in retrospect, this kind of looks like torture. That wasn't the intention.
I mean, it does because he's pissed, I think. Like he's just I don't know. It is torture. Niall, it's torture, right? Because he just grabs her and then,
He's aggressively taking information from her mind, basically through telepathy.
but she
It's
planned
a
on like,
fairly invasive procedure.
that's what it is. Yeah, he's just stealing her thoughts. And you know what I like though is, he's all about logic, and even though it's the beginning of knowledge, he gets pissed. He's like, "You try to kill my friends. Like my friends are down there and could have died." And he just he
Well,
just mind melder.
he is half human as well.
Yeah,
That's an important distinction with Spock, that he's not fully bound to logic.
and also to Undiscovered Country, it gives like Sulu is a boss captain. Like, should we report this? Are you serious? Like, he's an awesome captain. And then you
I
actually have like Uhura gets a scene, Chekhov, like he gets some lines, Scotty like saves the day. Like all the side characters, they still are very much so side characters, but they get something funny or good or unique to do.
Well, that's one of the letdowns of five, was it became very focused on
Shatner
what
flying
Shatner
rocks
wanted,
and eating beans.
and you didn't get many character moments for the other crew members unless you can doing a fan dance in the desert for some reason for Uhura or whatever other nonsense was going on in Final Frontier. In this one, there's clear progression in terms of the characters. Sulu is now commanding the Excelsior, which was the ship
Poison
he
Doc.
wanted to be on at the
Yeah.
end of four. You have Kirk ready for retirement now. Scotty's ready for retirement. McCoy, they're all ready to move on. The kind of older Spock is trying to hand off to Valeris, saying, this is going to be my last mission on this ship, and I'm hoping you'll take my place. He obviously isn't that good a judge of character, given how things turned out.
Yeah. That blows up in his face really bad.
It does.
She sets him up though with that Romulan ale. Like she's kind of a beast mode traitor.
She 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 is a very, very effective trader. And I wonder, something I've always kind of wondered about this film is, I wonder what the impact would have been if they brought back Saavik in
Yeah.
that role. Saavik as the betrayer after all she'd been through with David as well.
Because
And so
that was a Meyer character, correct? And then
yeah, so Saavik was from Wrath of Khan
yeah.
first and then Search for Spock. So she was with David when he died. So you could have this part of her arc where, because of what the Klingons did to David, that's why she's even more distrustful of what the Klingons are doing and how they can't be trusted, and that it's right to assassinate the Chancellor and scupper the peace process.
Like if they would have gotten Kirstie Alley back, I think that works. But I think they couldn't get her, so they were smart to pivot to Cattrall
Yeah,
because
I think so.
like her take on Valeris is good. And I can't think of the name of who played
Robin Curtis was
Robin
in Search for
Curtis.
Spock, I think.
Yeah, like she was fine, but I don't think she had the screen presence to carry on this role. And I think Cattrall's really good in here.
She
So
is.
it's like I guess it's not hating on the actor. I just think you have two really good actors who probably could have pulled this off. And but you know what's interesting though is you already have, you know, if you bring that character back, you already know that she is pretty pissed at the Klingons for the death of David. So you kind of would have thought about that immediately, right? Like she does not like these people. So I guess you would have suspected her all along, but
Perhaps.
no, I like Valeris. And like she's just crying at the end. Jeez Louise. And I think this
Well, she
movie,
has just been mind violated.
yeah, horribly. And like, you know what though? And I also think this movie probably has the second best cinematography of the entire franchise. I really like what Hiro Narita did on a budget. Like he decided they didn't have enough money, so they didn't shoot an anamorphic. They just like, they shot like in the shadows a lot. They like they didn't even build whole sets. They didn't even light the entire set so they could have shadows. Like I dig that. Like I think it's smart, like it's the
Well,
way that this film is
sometimes that
shot.
works.
Yeah.
And this is something we've talked about with some of the previous films as well, where they've had to, by necessity, do things cheaply and figure out ways to get across the scale without being able to just build a massive set or build. If you look at the like the J.J. Abrams
Yeah.
Star Trek films where you have these huge, brightly lit sets where everything is shiny and lens flary and beautiful and wonderful, and three times the size of what the ships are in these films versus these films, which are much more. You have to be tighter to the actors because if you move the camera a foot to the right, you're going to
Yeah.
see the backlot.
Yeah. Yeah, catering in the back of the shot there. And but they do it expertly. Like the way they found the angles. This was and you know what? This is a Cold War film. So the fact that you have more close-ups, the fact that it's tighter makes sense. Like you don't when you think about good mysteries, I mean like Chinatown has some great like widescreen shots, but like that's more of like a noir, but like a lot of good mysteries, you need those close-ups. You need to be feeling the tension in the actors. Like it's all about that. So I think the way they shot this like fit perfectly with the story. So like it's so interesting, Niall. And now that like I'm getting there, like with 2, 4, and 6, like one wasn't great, so then they made two, but they didn't have much of a budget. But then they made it very intelligently, and then they made three, wasn't great, so then they needed to pivot, and they had a decent budget but not a big budget, and then they made four, which was like
And it made the most money of any of them to
yeah,
date.
incredible, and then they made five, and it was like, eee. Like I know Hav Bennett wanted to turn it around to like Space Academy, which is what the kind of what J.J. Abrams did, but they're like, no, we can do one more. We have the 25th anniversary. Let's make this movie. Like Meyer came back. Everyone was cool with it. Story by Nimoy. Everyone was happy. And I bet you Shatner was like, I don't need to direct this time. I'm just happy for
He'd
one more.
probably got it out of his system at that point and was happy to just have another nice, easy paycheck.
and and it's like they bring back Meyer. They have a good script. They have a good cinematographer. They have no money. They shot on like next gen sets and like no
Yeah, I
money.
think the Excelsior set is a redressed next generation set. I think some of the other Klingon stuff is redressed from some of the next gen sets. And I think a lot of the costumes even came because Klingons featured quite a bit in next gen. They had a whole thing about the Chancellor of the Empire, and that was a whole storyline. So they had a bunch of Klingon stuff that they could draw on.
And it's great. This movie's like the performances are great, and it's a simple story too. And
I think the story is actually better in the original Klingon, though.
in the original Klingon, is that what you're saying?
Well, it's Christopher Plummer's character Chang.
Oh,
He's
Chang.
always
Oh yeah,
quoting
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
My bad. It's,
Um,
it gets it kind of annoying. It's like, hey man, just say something real. Like he's like, well, to be or not to be. Just I love that he's Chang. You know what's interesting too? I haven't heard much of a backlash against. There is a backlash against this character, but for the most part, when people talk about this film, they don't really complain about Plummer. They just talk about his performance. But he's definitely playing a guy called Chang, which is interesting. But he's still
you
great.
can kind of get away with it when it's aliens.
Yeah, that's true. Is it like is his mustache and it's fun watching Plummer enjoy himself. Is it not? Like he's
Oh
clearly having
yeah,
a good time
he
here.
is just absolute. I'm surprised he doesn't go home with a full belly of scenery every day. He really gets stuck into it.
It's like when he gets steps on the teleporter, he does a sassy little stand. And like he talked about I listened to his interview where Shatner was his understudy on I think Hamlet, and he had to go to the hospital for kidney stones. He thought it was syphilis. He made a joke about that. And he said that Shatner did the opposite of everything he did on stage. And he's like, yeah, that kid's gonna be a star. It's like they had known each other for a long time when they made this, like more than 25 years. And then it's like you got Christopher Plummer in here adding like just having a ball. Nimoy's great. Cattrall, just I don't know, man. Sulu's a captain. Like he's awesome in this movie.
And then they bring back David Warner, who played
Yeah,
one of the administrator people in Five, and he does a great job as the Chancellor, Gorkon.
and just an appearance by Christian Slater.
Who was Christian Slater?
He pops in like so he
Oh,
shows up and
he's on the Excelsior,
yeah,
wasn't
and he
he?
talks to
Around
Sulu.
yeah,
Yeah, he's like,
that's
sir.
right.
Oh man, and just I don't know. If this, I have a question. What's the equivalent of Romulan ale here? Like, what's it's ale? Is it like a double IPA?
It's more like a spirit.
Oh, okay.
So you, they call it Romulan ale, but think more along the lines of like Uzo or Zambuca or like
Oh, okay. Oh,
I,
Uzo. Oh, I like me some Uzo. They had full glasses
I
of it though.
oh yeah, that stuff messes you up.
Like I like that Chekhov is hungover, Kirk is hungover, the doctor's hungover. It just makes me
See, they got
happy.
rid of the hangovers in the Next Generation. It was a big talking point. They had synthetic alcohol, which doesn't give you hangovers.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never
it's
watched Next Gen. So you can just get plowed and wake up the next day and like be fine.
yes, apparently so.
Probably have to go to the bathroom a lot because it's like it's interesting.
Synthahol, they call it.
Synthahol?
Yeah.
What do you think, Niall? Would you drink synthahol or is part of the charm?
You see, I would I think I would stick to the real stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We had some hangovers in Korea, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And other countries, I guess, for you specifically. But like about this film, like when you watched this, did you watch this in the theater? Like what's been your
Um
relationship with this film
so
since it came out?
don't think I saw it in the theaters. I think it must have been on TV or something. So I was a huge Next Gen fan, so I'd been watching all the Next Generation episodes, and I'd watched probably all of the original Star Trek movies up to that point as well. So I would have watched this on TV, and it's like, oh, the new Star Trek movie that I haven't seen. Great, I'm going to get to watch it. I don't remember. I don't think I appreciated it as much the first time I watched it.
Hmm.
My favorite was always four, when I was younger, because that was the most accessible to someone who was 8, 9 years old, because it's funny. Whereas this one is it's much more like a political thriller. It's There's a lot going on in terms of the political conflict and the motivations and intrigue and things like this, which you don't necessarily get when you're younger. It's only when I've watched it back through the lens of experience when I've been older, and you see it's like, wow, this is a really good Cold War drama. And and this is the thing, we said this about Wrath of Khan as well. You could take this plot and transplant it into the Cold War, and it would work. Russia, you know, Nicholas Meyer even said, it's like, what if the Klingons had a Chernobyl? It was almost lifted from real life. So they had some disaster that made them have to come to the table, and then some people didn't want to negotiate, and what would happen? And then Jack Ryan gets called out of retirement and has to go, and you could get maybe Baldwin Ryan would have been good in 91. It was right around Red October as well.
I like him because he's kind of squirrely. Like I like his does do you think Ford's Ryan fits in better in the Star Trek universe? Like if there had to be a Jack Ryan transported into this film, like a Starfleet detective, which one? Okay.
I feel like Ford is a little bit too. I associate him too much with Blade Runner and gritty noir.
Okay. What about Benny
Oh, Affleck maybe.
Chris Pine?
Well, he has been in the
Yeah.
universe. um, we know he can do a job.
Oh, so we should cast Chris Pine as Starfleet Jack Ryan. What do you think?
Well, he was kind of almost playing that as Kirk. He wasn't. He was a more action-focused Kirk, at least in the initial movies.
Yeah, he's just throwing bombs in that first one.
Yeah.
You know what kind of blows my mind, and we'll get there, but I was looking through the tomato meter scores, and Star Trek Into Darkness has a higher critic score than Undiscovered Country and Voyage Home. That seems pretty
That's
insane.
crazy.
Correct? Like that's nuts.
But I would say the fan scores are both substantially lower.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the fan scores are good for like Undiscovered Country has like an 84, so that's good.
Which I think is fair. I think it is back to your rating. I think nobody is really going to argue with your breakdown of top three and bottom three.
Yeah, this is how you rank those three, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's where there's a lot of wiggle room. I think I'm going to go Voyage Home top.
Okay.
Because I do really still enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure, and it's what kicked off this series. Me watching it and saying, "Hey, we should talk about that."
And me, I'm up for anything. So I was like, sure.
Little did you know it would take up 6 episodes and counting.
I love this rant. I love this talk. I already bought the next gen movie, so I'm excited.
Again, the rule of evens hold up until number 8 at least.
Wow. Wait, I did. You know what's interesting? Oh, so your rankings. Tell me your rankings. You have four.
So I'm going 4, and then I would put Wrath of Khan,
Okay.
then this, and it's all very, very close. I think it's pretty much undisputed that Search for Spock is 4, and then I would go Motion Picture, Final Frontier. That would be my
Got it.
my rating of the original 6.
I feel like Search for Spock is always number 4. Or if you had to compile 100 lists, Search for Spock would mostly be in 4, right? Like that would be
Yes.
the general spot for it. I think Undiscovered Country would. What do you think? Like would mostly be 2 or 3?
I would say
3?
probably 2. We're getting into statistics now. What's the expectation value of
Khan's
Undiscovered Country?
1, right?
Khan is going to be tending 1. I think Voyage Home and Undiscovered Country are going to be tending 2 and 3, but I think on very similar levels.
Okay. Let's take a look at something. Let's take a look at the IMDb scores. So Wrath of Khan is 7.7. Voyage Home is 7.3, and Undiscovered Country is 7.2. So it
So
looks
that
like
suggests
Khan.
Khan and then Undiscovered Country and Voyage Home very close.
Yeah. Like that makes sense to me. Like that's it. And then Final Frontier is 5.5, which is pretty good. Search for Spock is 6.6, which is higher than I thought it would be. And Motion Picture 6.4. So the lowest one is Final Frontier.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. And then it's Motion Picture. So it's yeah, I guess if I had to put money on like statistics or betting averages, I'd probably do Wrath of Khan 1.
I think that would be the case, given that IMDb has how many ratings? 80 odd thousand for Undiscovered Country, probably similar.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm really excited to get the First Contact because that has 7.6 and has 134,000.
First Contact's good. It's one of my favorites.
So we have one movie before it, Generations.
Which I quite like Generations. There are some positives in it, but there are also some missteps. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, what are your favorite parts of this movie? Like, what's like when it comes to Undiscovered Country? What are the bits that you love the most?
I like how little had to be said to have Spock understand what was going on. When Kirk was going to the Klingon ship, he was already aware. It's like, okay, Captain has a tracker. That's fine. We're going to deal with it. We have a plan. And he didn't feel the need to spoon feed the audience by explaining it until they were already there. And Valeris is like, how are you going to do that? It's like, oh, well, the captain has a tracker and I expect him to be escaping right about now. Ah, here he is.
Getting outside of the magnetic field with his, what's the patch he has? A Viridian patch.
Yeah, a Viridian patch or something.
Yeah, and he like, and then Kirk tells Bones that he has it as well to kind of keep him going. But Spock, he doesn't hand feed you that. This movie doesn't really hand feed you a lot. Like,
no,
I like, and what's funny? The comic beats are funny too. If the shoe fits, and then the guy has gigantic feet. Oh,
Meyer does comedy well. If you look at the moments of Star Trek 4, this, even Wrath of Khan, there are some funny moments. Less so in Khan. Khan is a little bit intense, but in this one, there's a little bit of time for humor.
You know what's interesting about Kirk is Khan is possessed by revenge, and then Kirk is possessed by hatred. So it's kind of interesting how they have the parallel. Some people don't like that Kirk was so like, I know Roddenberry didn't like that Kirk was so angry towards the Klingons. Like some people say he's like a different character. But I mean, his kid was killed.
He's going to hold on to that. He's going to be not necessarily consumed by it, but when it's shoved right in front of his face and he's being accused of killing some Klingons, it's probably going to come up that he's not particularly fond of Klingons.
Would you
But
have
yeah,
Michael?
you're right.
What's up?
No, go ahead.
Oh
I
no,
was
no, go for it.
just gonna say Roddenberry was not pleased with the direction they were going, though he was shown a rough cut, I think 3 or 4 weeks before he died. And I think he did like it in the end, um, even though he wouldn't have necessarily been pleased with the direction they were taking.
Shatner does a good job here too. Like there's it's not a really ego-driven performance this time around. Like he wins a fight by kicking a guy in the genitals in his knees. He like they make fun of him for smooching shapeshifters. He's like, I can't believe I kissed you. Like he's not really, he
And
gets
I
hungover
thought
and
that that scene with the shapeshifter where you had two Shatners, I thought that was played quite well. It was quite
yeah,
funny.
Shatner fight. Like he
Why
just
have one Shatner doing a double-handed backhand punch when you can have two?
he, like it's an unselfish performance after the last one. He's not doing any rock climbing. I think there's a stacked bench of actors in this. It's I think this one might be more popular too because when you watch some of the Chancellor scenes, like there's a with Spock's father and just like they're on a lot of old agey chairs, like they're just sitting on leather chairs. I think in like her their stations are much more analog in this one. They get sent to a like an ice planet. Like everyone loves an ice planet, but like they send them to an ice planet. Like I don't think, like I think that you're able to tie it in real life issues. So I think it was more palatable for general audiences. You just have like, does that make sense? Like I think you could like if you showed your grandparents, not your grandparents, if you showed your parents who weren't into sci-fi, maybe like 1 and 3 and maybe 5, they would be like, what is this? But I think if you showed them 2, 4, and 6, they would roll with it a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
It's grounded in a solid, understandable plot. That's the key for these, where you have some kind of there's no MacGuffin involved. So you don't need to know about phasers and photon torpedoes and gravity boots and anything. Those are just little plot devices.
and there's
The core of the
lettuce.
story is really, really relatable. It's just, okay, our enemy is coming to us. We're going to negotiate peace. Oh, there's been an assassination. Oh, we have a mystery. Who did it? Great. That's a good setup.
Like there's some terrible court cases.
Star Trek loves a court case. There are 6 or 7 episodes with court cases, and they are all pretty much amazing.
What do
Some
you
of the ones in the show are some of the highest rated episodes of the series.
Oh gosh. So what do you think about Michael Dorns as a lawyer?
It's
Colonel Worf.
Colonel Worf.
Yeah.
He's
Great great grandfather.
grandfather, well,
Grandfather.
great grandfather, maybe, I guess. He I think he was probably just working on Next Generation next door, and they were like, we need a Klingon
Whoa, to save money.
we need a Klingon lawyer. It's like, look, we'll just say you're like his great grandfather or something. We'll just call you Worf, and then people will be like, oh. In fact, we don't even need to tell them anything. We'll just put you on screen, say your name is Worf, and let the fans draw the family tree. Done.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, hey, you're wrapped, but can you jump over to the next set to go be a Klingon lawyer? Like not a caveman
Well,
lawyer.
Doran holds the distinction of the most Star Trek. He is the actor who is in the most episodes and films of anyone.
What series has he been in?
So he was in this film. He was in all of Next Gen. He was in 4 series of Deep Space Nine. He also showed up in Star Trek Picard, and he was in all the Next Gen movies.
Wow. I don't ever think I saw him at a Comic-Con. Yeah, I don't think I
He
ever did
go
any.
he definitely goes to them. I've seen him do panels and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had man, I really wish I would have watched these movies when I was doing all the Comic-Cons because all these people were there at like multiple shows that I used to work at. Like it would have been kind of fun to get them to sign a Blu-ray or something. I would have liked that. I saw a George Takei panel once, and I really enjoyed that. Like he was great. And like,
He's a funny guy.
what do you think about his role in this?
I think it's good that he actually got to do something instead of just being the navigator. Because if he'd just still been the navigator on the Enterprise, again, he wouldn't really have had very much to do. Whereas having him be on his own ship and being able to actually engage in the rescue effort as a solo participant rather than just because he happens to be part of Kirk's crew, and him being able to show is like, look, I'm Captain Sulu now, but my buddies are in trouble. I'm still going to go and help them out.
And he does too. They when they're on either side and they just blow up Plummer. I know a lot of people die, but it's a good scene. And then they're like, "Oh, the ionized gas." Doesn't Uhura help with that? Like they talk about the
Yeah,
exhaust coming
it's
out of it,
yeah.
and
Apparently, they couldn't cloak the exhaust pipe, which is a little bit of a stretch.
that's why you got to get your emissions checked. You don't want to be leaking.
Yeah, over here they have a thing called a MOT, which cars have to go through every however years to get road safety certified or whatever. So they really need to take that thing in for an MOT and make sure check the emissions, check the tires, make sure everything is oiled.
I just got my tires rotated, so that's good. Like I feel like I'm on top of that. They needed a
What
tire
is
rotation
getting your
and
tires rotated?
oh, you just back to front, so you don't have to like like when you just the treads differently, like where you hit, what gets hit first, where you turn, like this they so they can wear evenly the tires. So you just keep flipping them back every oil change.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you sounded a little skeptical at first, but then you went, "Oh, okay, that's logic. I like it."
No, that logic is the beginning of wisdom.
Did I do some linguistic legerdemain and a degree of
xenolinguistic something or other?
a degree of intrepidity? Like he drops some big old word. Oh, then O'Hara's just trying to learn Klingon in the books. Like I love that. What? Don't catch any bugs? Didn't they say something late? Like it's just that's like a silly scene that she's in. Like this is a well written movie. It really is. And what's interesting? I like the daughter who is played by I have her name DeSoto. I have her name Rosanna DeSoto. Like she's really good in this movie because her character's not exactly a villain. Like
well, no, she's not involved at all. She's just on the other side.
It's just the daughter of Chancellor Gorkin, and she's all about kind of
she would be the one who James Bond would end up in bed with if Bond was involved in this little Cold War escapade.
Sean Connery's in here, just like then she would die immediately.
I think Bond would have definitely hooked up with Valeris first, and then she'd be the bad Bond girl who'd die.
Whoa!
Then he'd broker the peace with the daughter of the dead Chancellor and make some kind of pun about reuniting the Empire.
That's amazing. So she's like Sophie Marceau from The World Is Not Enough, Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I like you, but I'm actually evil. Because you don't know if she's bad or not, do you?
No, you only find that out when
she was kidnapped. Yeah.
She was kidnapped, and it's only in the third act you find out that she was actually pulling the strings.
I kind of feel like French ladies rule the 007 franchise. You have Sophie, you have Leah, and you have Eva. Like those three are top tier Bond girls.
And well, there are several from the earlier ones as well.
Yeah, who's the one with Dalton? Not Dalton. I don't know. There's a really you're right. I don't know. What do you think? I will save that for our Bond franchise coverage.
I've actually been rewatching all the James Bonds this week or in the last few weeks. I'm up to, I think I've just watched Octopussy now. I've kind of watched through a good chunk of them.
Do they have a 1, 2, 3? Do they have every even number is good or odd or what?
I don't think so. There doesn't appear to be the same distribution that you get with Star Trek, with the every second one is good.
You know what's crazy though? It's like the first one. It didn't do well. They learned a lesson. They made 2 good, and then they went and made 3.
Didn't do 3 was okay.
Okay, yeah. You know what? 3 is good. I like 3, but then they went. We got to step up our game, and like I think 3. Okay, so 1 didn't help them, so they lowered the budget for Wrath of Khan, but then that was really good. So then they gave 3 a little bit like a little bit of a bigger budget, and that did reasonably well. So then I think four had the like a nice large budget, but they were really smart about it. And then they made five, and it had a decent budget, and everyone's like, oh. And then they cut the budget for this, and they learned from five and made a good one. Like it's just fun watching the the progression and like how they learn with each film and how reactive it can be. Like it's like ego Shatner's ego got in the way in five. I don't think three is bad though. So I don't know what
No, three is not bad. It's just not if
it's
you had
fine.
to if you had to cut a line down the middle, split them into three good and three bad, it will always fall below the other three, but it's objectively better than the other two that are not as good.
Stupid question. Is two popular because one was bad? And is six popular because five was bad?
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Like
I think you should have a quite solid insight into that, having not watched any of them and then just gone in and watched them as movies.
no, you're right. So basically, I have an immense respect for two. If they said, Mark, which Star Trek movie do you have the most respect for? It would have to be Wrath of Khan, because one didn't do him any favors. We talked about it, slash budgets, and they made like a pretty like really smart decision to make it. It could have been on boats, like you said. So I think I have an incredible amount of respect for two. Three is fine, but when four came out, four just felt really fresh. It was like we got to get out of space. Like we gotta stop going to these planets and stretching our budgets and doing this. And for some reason, it's like really funny. But I think they still had momentum from two and three, so they're able to make four. They couldn't make four if it came off of one, if that makes sense.
No, it would have been too much of a risk to go that far away from the formula.
After going so far from the formula with the first one. And then five comes out. And you know what, though? Like, Harv Bennett wanted to get rid of this. Like, he wanted to do another franchise, and he got booted. They brought back Meyer. They had Meyer direct. The score in here is really good. The cinematography is good. So I think this one, I think when it comes to realizing its budget, I think this one probably looks the best. Like two, they have recycled sets, and it's so low budget that they couldn't do a lot, and they were really smart how they handled it. But this movie doesn't have a giant budget either, and I think it looks quite gorgeous. So
Well, for this one as well, they had the benefit of Next Generation being ongoing at the time,
yes, yep.
so they could borrow
This next
they
door.
they could
Uh,
borrow they could borrow miniatures for some of the ships, they could borrow various things.
and they had
So
ILM
they
back.
didn't, and they had ILM back, which it makes a huge difference.
And then like I think because you're Star Trek, you can pull Kim Cattrall. Like I
Yeah.
think you can pull actors like this to come in, and you can grab Christopher Plummer. Like I think this franchise had some cash to it and people loved it. So
So I was watching the Graham Norton show, the British
ooh,
talk
yeah.
show host, and he had Zoe Saldana on, and she was saying about when she was asked to audition for Uhura, and she said her mom used to love it, and she called up her mom and said, "Oh, hey, mom, I've been. You remember that TV show you used to watch in like the 70s, that Star Trek?" And she said, her mom said immediately, "Oh, you have to do that. It's amazing."
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
And then you know what's
yeah.
also interesting? She was on the set of Avatar, and J.J. Abrams visited James Cameron, and James Cameron. This is what Zoe said. James Cameron was like, "Hey, JJ, check her out. She should be in your Star Trek movie." And then yeah, between that and the mom, she landed O'Hara.
Yeah, there you go.
Zoe Saldana is a moneymaker. The Star
She
Trek
is.
franchise, Guardians franchise, Avatar
So
franchise,
this was
Avengers.
in the preamble for this show. It was a couple of days ago. It was on in the UK, like it's a brand new interview. And when he's introducing her as the only actor to have four movies that have grossed $2 billion,
Choo!
which is crazy.
Okay, if I had to remake Star Trek and start from scratch, I would just put, if I had to spin it off, and the only person I could get back was Saldana, I would add Zoe Saldana. I would put Zendaya in here somewhere
Okay.
because she just makes bank, and like the promotion would be incredible. I put Michelle Rodriguez because she's been in the Fast movies that two have made 1 billion, and she was in Avatar, which made 1 billion. I put her in here. I'd probably chuck in who else? Who else would you put in to just make max money?
You can have like Sam Jackson as a Starfleet admiral or something.
Yes, yes, yes. Sam Jackson.
Admiral Badass Mofo.
Yeah, because he's just been in so many movies that have made money. I would put him in there. Who else should we round the cast out? I wonder who the big. So I would put the biggest star in India. I would put the biggest star in China.
Oh yeah.
So I would have them in here, but I wouldn't give them nonsense roles. Like I would give them fully fleshed out, huge roles.
So we're not doing like an Independence Day resurgence where I heard the movie was completely different in China. They had like a Chinese cut, giving
Oh
the
no.
Chinese characters more prominence.
And I know that like I know that like in China and other countries and in India, we would hire like their biggest actors to ever exist, and then we would give them 3 lines, and then they would just get pissed off and be like, oh, this is stunt casting. So I would do what the Meg did. They had what Li Bingbing in there, and then they made her a major character, and the movie made hundreds of millions. So I would, and the Meg 2 did that as well. So I would add that. My movie's very cynical, Niall, but I don't care. I would just put all the big names in there and I would make cash.
And then director wise, do you get James Cameron in to do it just to make silly money?
Man, that's a good question. Him or Denis Villeneuve? No.
The thing is, like Villeneuve hasn't made the stupid amounts of money that
Yeah,
Cameron's had
if
made.
we're talking stupid money, we're hiring Cameron. So yeah, James Cameron, stupid amounts of
But
money.
if we're after stupid money, we could hire Michael Bay.
I don't want a Michael Bay Star Trek.
It
No, thank
felt
you.
like JJ Trek almost went there with
Oh gosh.
its explodiness.
Yeah. So no JJ. Yeah, just get James Cameron and all these actors. And then I would put Tom Hardy in here somewhere because the Venom movie,
Well,
Venom made
he's
900 million.
he's already been in one though.
Yeah, and he could redeem himself. I would have him play the exact same character.
So a clone of Captain Picard.
Yeah, again. Also, I want to talk about something: the kitchen in Star Trek. Like, why is there lettuce and mashed potatoes in this film?
They probably borrowed it from the catering desk. Is like, we need some food to dress the set. All right, what have we got lying around that won't go off or melt under the lights?
And I love that there's 4 guns in the kitchen.
It's important that just in case you have a disagreement over dinner, that you have the ability to shoot someone.
And like, I like when Kim Cattrall shoots the little laser. There's a lady in the background, just like, ugh, like she's really annoyed by it,
And
and it
then
makes me happy.
what is bizarre is that the chief engineer comes running. He's like, "Did someone shoot a phaser in here?"
Yeah,
That's not who you would expect to come run. I think it was just to have Scotty have something to do at that point.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, you have Uhura running in, and then you have Scotty coming in.
There's nobody else on the ship.
And I love that there's fire extinguishers in there, and it, I don't. It's just like they've never shown this before, have they? Like they've on Star Trek, did they ever show a kitchen before?
Um, yeah, they show it a couple of times, and then in some of the newer series, they become quite a big plot point.
Oh,
There's a lot
okay.
of cooking that goes on in some of the later ones.
Really? Like kitchens?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Captain Pike has he has a really big kitchen in the new series, Strange New Worlds.
I didn't know that. Okay. But no, this, I don't know, like the gun firing, the investigation. I love a good investigation too. So yeah, this movie is a firm number 2 for me of the 6. I
Yeah,
like it.
it's and what I do like about it as well is it felt like a fitting end
Yeah.
to the characters. And I liked the little touch in the end credits with the signatures, same as they did in Avengers Endgame, was it? Where they had like the actors sign their names in the credits rather than the thing, but in the actual credits of Star Trek, you had all and it really felt like, okay, this is the end.
But they're not though. Like, what's nice it's not like we all quit because we're old. He's like, to be commissioned, but these like the voyages we have begun and like in the undiscovered country, like they go take off to have fun, but it's still a fitting ending. So it's like
Well, I think
it
Nichelle
works.
Nichols was the only one who didn't show up again.
Oh wow. Wait,
Uh,
did they? Who showed up in the other one?
so McCoy is in the premiere of The Next Generation. Spock is in two episodes, and he shows up in JJ Trek.
Yep, JJ Trek.
Um, Kirk, Scotty, and there's a Chekhov are all in Generations. Chekhov also showed up in Picard, at least his voice. Um, Sulu shows up in Voyager. And yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. So they're Uhura is the only one who doesn't make a further appearance.
I like her in this film. Did she have
Yeah.
more to do in the TV show?
She was very much, her character can be summed up by Sigourney Weaver's character in Galaxy Quest. She had one role for the most part and did it. But she did get a lot more to do over the course of 70 odd episodes. All the characters actually had proper character moments, and obviously her and Kirk shared the first interracial kiss on TV, which is pretty
Yeah.
groundbreaking.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. I just never watched the show. Did I tell you that someone paid me once to watch? They wanted me to watch all of the TV shows and movies to figure out how many red shirts die. And
Yes,
the
you
quote
did
I gave
say.
them was way too insane. And they're like, yeah, never mind. We're not gonna do that. But hey, before we get out of here, man, do you have any more thoughts about the movie? Do you want to do a 6 films and a franchise draft? Like what do you want to
We
do?
can try. We can
Okay.
try. I did some looking, and the pickings are slim. There aren't that many franchises that have gone six or more,
Yeah. There's some good ones though.
but there are some good ones.
Some good
Uh,
ones.
I'd say there are probably four or five good ones, and then quite a few perhaps not so good ones.
So I'll give you first pick.
So I'm gonna repeat what I did for the previous where we did fifth movie draft. I'm going to stick with 007. I'm going to take On Her Majesty's Secret Service
Oh,
with Lazenby, which is underrated.
yeah, I love that movie. Kidding me? He's great in that movie. I love that film. All right, Honor Magic. I'm taking Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I mean, there's a great bathroom fight. I had to take it.
Um, I'm going to go for Rocky. Rocky
Oh
Balboa.
no, I should have done that. That's an awesome movie.
That sixth Rocky was fantastic.
He has a chair that he just keeps by Adrian's grave, and he just grabs it out of a tree and sits there. It's incredible. I should have picked that. All right, Fast and Furious 6, because that's probably it's the most Fast and Furious of all the Fast and Furious movies.
The Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I figured it out. I actually did all the stats, and I figured out it's the most Fast and Furious of the franchise.
Okay, now I'm gonna go for Harry Potter.
Okay, good one. I mean, that's a
Harry
good
Potter
pick.
6. It's a good film. Half Blood Prince. It's got a pretty substantial climax.
Is that the one? Was it where Pattinson gets it?
No, it's there is a big death at the end though.
Okay. Oh yeah. I got it. Our favorite. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives, because it's probably one of the best in the franchise, and it's really fun. So I'm gonna take that one. That movie rocks.
Nice. I'm gonna take this one.
Oh, Discover. I was like, which one?
The one we're talking about.
All right,
Star
Undiscovered
Trek
Country.
6.
Oh man. I mean, I took Fallout first, so I get it. Your team's looking like a bruiser right now. I like it. Okay, so I'm going through here. Oh man, there's Godzilla movies. Let's see, The Incredible Hulk. I don't think that counts. The Karate Kid, no. Oh, that's bad. So I was just looking at Battle of Five Armies has some good moments. I'm getting there, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. I don't want to do Scream 6 is good, but I'm not going to pick that. Why'd you pick this one, Niall? This one's tough to do. There's a lot of good. Oh, you know what? I Dark Fate I was gonna take. I don't think I'm gonna do Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning.
Interesting.
That movie's awesome. There it is.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go for Dark Fate,
Terminator
Terminator,
Dark Fate.
which wasn't great, but it had its fun moments.
Yeah, there's some good bits. I like Dark Fate. I don't mind it. Okay. Best sixth movies in franchises. I'm not taking Die Hard 6.
Was
That
there
movie's terrible.
there
No,
wasn't a Die
wait,
Hard
Die
6,
Hard
was there?
5, right? No, it's Die Hard 5.
Die Hard 5 was the really
Oh, that
bad
one's
one.
horrifying.
They
Yeah.
didn't even make a Die Hard 6.
Yeah, five's a soul crusher. Oh man, you took Rocky Balboa. I'll trade you Rocky Balboa for Jason Lives.
No, I'm good.
All right, well
Um,
I'll take Revenge of the Sith then.
okay, yeah, that I think that's a solid option. That is
All
the
right.
best of the prequel trilogy for sure.
I mean, it's got good stuff. And I know I could have taken Muppets in Space because there's a great gag about a jacuzzi, but I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna take Revenge because that was an event. That was a good movie and it has high
Yeah,
ground. You can't hate on high ground.
you cannot.
Never hate on that. All right, so Niall, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Um, no, I think we've kind of covered it. Like, I think this is just a great end to the original cast's films. And I'm looking forward to moving on to the next gen movies.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss this crew, but I haven't watched. I have watched that one, but I probably saw it in '94, so I remember 30 years ago, so I remember nothing. The Borg one, I remember scenes from. I never saw Nemesis or the other one, so I'm excited for that. And then we go to JJ.
Yeah,
Oh man,
just 7 more to go.
the only one I'm not looking forward to is the Benny Cumby one, like Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Into Darkness.
Yeah,
I think that's my least rewatched one.
I don't know. Just yeah. All right. Well, hey Niall, thank you for joining me. Where can people
Yeah,
find
you're
you?
welcome. I'm on all the social things at El Nilo.
You get a lot of feet pics.
It's a very, very niche market.
Feet vacation pics? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Luckily, I don't keep my genitals there, so it's fine to show on the internet.
Awesome. Well, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Niall Moore, this is Movie Shows and Flicks. We'll see you next week.